Mentors for Youth. How do you become a mentor? Let's find out in this edition of WJTS-Inform. I'm your host, Bill Potter. Joining me in the studio is Courtney Knies. Courtney is the Executive Director for Mentors for Youth. Now, some of you may be going, wasn't there a Big Brothers Big Sisters? Yes, but it became Mentors for Youth. So now we're Mentors for Youth.
That's correct.
Which, before we start getting into how to become a mentor, briefly tell us, what is Mentors for Youth?
Yeah, Mentors for Youth we're the Big Brothers Big Sisters equivalent here in Du Bois County. So we were actually founded in Du Bois County in 1987. So in October we celebrated 28 years in this community. And our mission is to facilitate mutually beneficial relationships between youth and adults for the purpose of enhancing individual lives and the community, which is a big fancy way of saying we take kids who need a little bit of TLC, some adult influences in their life, and we take caring adults and we match them together and we support them in that relationship, hoping that both the adult and the child grow, get to appreciate the community even more, and have a lot of personal growth.
And one thing that I think sometimes people go, well, that sounds like a big commitment. It really is not. It's as big a commitment as you want to make it.
We ask a mentor to commit 2 hours every other week for 1 year. So that's only 48 hours a year. I'm not very good at math, but I think that
sounds good. It's close enough to me. And you're always in search of mentors. I'm sure you have plenty of kids who are looking for an adult to help lead them, but you don't have enough adults.
At any given time, we have between 20 and 25 youth waiting for mentors. In the past 2 years, we've recruited 40 plus new mentors, and our wait list stays the same. So sometimes people are like, how does that work? But in any given week, let's say we have one mentor application come in that week, we could easily have 2 or 3 youth applications come in. So we always have youth who are looking for those adult influences, and we're trying to reach out and find those adults who care.
Are you needing more men or more women?
More men, definitely. Okay. Of the youth that we have in the program, it's about a 50-50 split between boys and girls, but on the wait list, it's almost always 75% to sometimes 90% boys who are waiting. So we're definitely looking for men to help us out.
Okay, and basically what you're doing is just spending time with this young person to be with you. What's the age of the kids?
Yeah. A youth enrolls in the program between 6 and 14, and then they're able to stay in the program until they're 18. So that's all, and everything that we do is based on national standards. So even though we're not affiliated with Big Brothers Big Sisters, we're also not just out doing our own thing. We adhere to the Indiana Quality Mentoring Standards. So anyway, a youth enrolls between 6 and 14 and can stay in the program until 18. Most of our youth are in the 8 to 12 age range, but we do have them throughout the entire mix.
And you're really not looking for mentors to be parents to these kids. You're looking for them to be a mentor, or the old phrase, a big brother or a big sister. If somebody wants to be a mentor, I guess what's the first thing they need to do, and then the last thing that happens?
Yeah, the phrase that we like to use is not a parent figure, not a tutor, not a teacher. You're coming in as a trusted adult friend. So to be a mentor or a trusted adult friend, which it kind of defines what the relationship can look like, an individual just needs to be 16 years of age or older, have a valid driver's license, reliable transportation, and all that good stuff. So sometimes it ends up being 17 because of Indiana laws, but 16 or older. And it's a very simple process. We have an application online. Our website is mentors4youth.com. The application is online. It has general contact information, employment history, and then for a couple references. Also, there's a short paragraph answer as to why you're wanting to get involved and perhaps what your past volunteer experience is, but it's not anything that we take hours to fill out. So again, it's a simple online application that gets the process started, or you can download it and mail it in, whatever.
Do you find that people sometimes have questions before they get to that point? Because I think if they fill out the application, they feel, okay, I am committing myself. But can they just call you and say, you know, I don't really want you to know who I am, but I'm interested in helping. I have some questions.
Yeah, we would welcome calls. We would welcome emails. Our number is 812-482-2227. Call us anytime. It's in the office. Myself and Kaiva Hurt is our full-time case manager. She's been with the organization for nearly 16 years and is absolutely fantastic at helping answer these questions. We also have events, normally twice a year, where our mentors come and we try to share stories about what it means to be a mentor and share some of their experiences. every month we also sponsor a monthly outing, which once you're matched is a great way to feel supported, to meet other mentors, to interact with Kaiva, to have a place to go with your youth. But if someone's interested in being a mentor, we would love to share more information and invite you to one of those outings, because being a mentor isn't nearly as scary as what it often is made out to be in our mind. It's really just hanging out with a kid, hanging out with a person who just happens to be younger than you is really what it feels like.
And you're taking them to a ball game. You're taking them shopping because you have to go shopping. You might be baking in the, when you're doing something like that.
Yeah.
So somebody fills out an application. Then you obviously review it, see it. What's the next step? What happens then?
The next step is when you can really learn more about the program and make sure that it's the right fit for you. So after we receive your application and we start checking references and all that type of stuff, you come in for an interview. It's about an hour long, and it's a get to know you. It's make sure that this program is a good fit for you and really learn more about your personality, your interests, your hobbies, your location, and your needs, and what you hope to get out of this program or give back with this program. And after that interview, we again got to know you better. Then you go through a 90-minute online training. And this training is at your own pace. You do it, you can stop and go however you wish. And it's meant to help answer some of those questions, help figure out what it means to be a mentor. What does trusted adult friend mean? When you're with a youth, you're interacting with their parents. That was something that surprised me a little bit, but it makes sense. So this training tells you more about that. Also, before you do the 90-minute interview or the 90-minute training, in the interview, we give you resources and already start planning in your head ideas as to what you can do with your youth. We give you resources about what happens if a tough conversation comes up, so that you can start thinking about that. We give you resources about what can you do in Du Bois County that you don't have to spend money on. We show you our website where we have free activities that are going on in the community. So we start to make sure that that happens right from the start. So after the 90-minute training, then we find a couple profiles of youth who are waiting to be matched, and we make sure that we tailor it to you. So it's not, if you're the first mentor to come in, the person who's been on the wait list the longest isn't who necessarily gets matched with you. It's really important for us to match personalities, to match geography. You might live in Huntingburg but work in Jasper, so it's going to work best for you to hang out with your youth after work when you're already in Jasper, so you would want to be matched with a youth who lives in Jasper, or whatever it is. So we have all different kinds of situations like that.
And then I guess you get a phone call that says, okay, we found somebody for you, and then there's that scary first meeting?
The scary first meeting, yeah. I think it's intimidating for any of us to meet a new person at any given time. So when you're meeting this youth, we don't just say, hey, Jim, meet Bob, good luck. We actually facilitate that meeting after you're given the profiles and you choose the youth that you think would be the best fit for you. Kaiva, our case manager, actually then goes with you, and she sets up the first meeting with the youth and their family and you. And you normally meet at their home where you'd be interacting with the child. And she makes sure that she goes through with the family, with the youth, and does the introductions, and then starts to set up expectations. What are the goals in the relationship? What kinds of things do they like to do? And then often, if it works out, after that first meeting, which is normally 30 minutes to an hour, the adult mentor then takes the youth and they go ahead and go out for ice cream, or they go for a walk or whatever, just so that there's something that they can spend a little bit of time. And then that's the first meeting, and it's actually pretty simple. And
then it's really up to you and your schedule and the youth and their schedule and that family, what you're going to do from then on.
Yep, and that's when the relationship really starts to grow. Again, we ask the 2 hours every other week for 1 year, and in the beginning, we really encourage you to stick with that, because you might be really excited and say, oh, I've got all kinds of time and I want to spend 4 hours every week with this child. But then in 6 months, your calendar gets full, life changes. Then the youth thinks, oh my goodness, I've done something wrong. They don't care for me anymore. So it really is, in the beginning, we really encourage the 2 hours every other week for the first couple months. You'll get to know the family then. You'll get to know how best to communicate, whether it's a call the day before when it works out for you, or if they need a plan weeks in advance, if only Saturdays work, all that kind of stuff. And then we ask you to just do really simple things. It's not taking them on huge vacations all the time. It's not going and spending money on the big concerts or whatever it is. It's really just walking alongside them in life. So it can be taking them to the grocery store when you need to go shopping. It can be going to a movie. I'm matched with an 11-year-old girl, and our routine has been I pick her up, we go to the library, she checks out a book, we go and get ice cream somewhere, which, yes, I do spend money on that. That's something that I've chosen, and it's a great excuse for me to go get ice cream. And then we go back to my apartment and we do like dance videos on YouTube, and 2 hours is up and I take her back home. And often I'm done by 7 o'clock and I can go and hang out with my friends afterwards. It was just kind of an after work thing. So that's worked really well. It's really simple. And it's amazing how much, I've been matched for about 1.5 years, how much she looks forward to those outings. And it's really the simplest thing that I just kind of have a ticker on my calendar every couple weeks to get in contact with her and make sure that it still works out.
And probably for, the kids, it's just somebody that they can talk to other than family, because sometimes you just can't talk to family, and it's somebody that you can spend time with.
Yeah.
Are there reports or things like that have to be filled out as time goes along?
Right. We don't have any official reporting systems, but we do check in with you at the beginning. Every couple weeks we're checking in to make sure that everything's going okay, and then it becomes kind of monthly contact calls to make sure that everything's okay. But it's not like we're asking you to tell us everything that you did from the time you picked them up to the time you left. It's just making sure that everything's okay. Are there any red flags that we need to know about their family so that we can better serve their family? Or most of the time, I'd say 95% of the time the reports are, it's great. And then we ask the families how it's going, as well as we ask the mentor how it's going, so we get both sides. And it really is just, we're enjoying each other's company, we're getting to know each other. I also think it's important, Bill, when you say that it's just somebody to talk to. These kids aren't coming and dumping their life story on you right away. It's not that you're doing the heavy lifting and are becoming their counselor or anything. It's just a conversation. Again, in my match, my experience, my youth really likes cosplay and anime characters. So she talks a lot about that. That's not something that I know anything about, but I've learned from her. So it really is just checking in, hey, how's school going? And she's in middle school, so she'll tell me about the mean boys at the lunch table. And I'll listen and remember about the mean boys when I was in middle school. It's not anything crazy. I'm not solving the problems for her. I'm just listening and hanging out. And other times it's, hey, I heard this new song on the radio, and she finds it and wants to share it with me. It's
like an older sister or an older brother would be. But you are needing mentors, so they need to contact you. And again, the website, but they can also call you. Or do you have an office they could stop at, or is it open?
We're normally at our office. We're inside Old National Bank. They've generously donated office space, so their main branch at Mill and 6th Street. Come in anytime during banking hours. We're on the first floor there. They'll help you find us. Our website, again, is mentors4youth.com. Our phone number is 812-482-2227. And then we're also really active on social media. Look at our Facebook page, see what kinds of things that our matches are doing, see the kinds of activities that we have. We would be happy to get you in touch with someone who is matched so that you can hear the honest stories and hear what surprised them, what the struggles has been, what the success has been. And it really isn't a commitment. I can almost guarantee you that whatever you've made out in your head is a lot scarier than what the reality is.
And it's really just being a friend.
It's really just being a friend. It's really just having another person in your life that you have a relationship with. Again, they just happen to be younger than you in the age scale, and that's it.
And it can be very rewarding. Courtney, thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you.
Make sure you contact Mentors for Youth, or talk to somebody you think would be a good mentor. They may not have thought about it, what it would be like, and have them watch this video over and over and over, or call. Better yet, just call Courtney. Courtney, thank you very much.
Thank you, Bill.
Courtney Knies, the Executive Director for Mentors for Youth. Thank you for watching WJTS-Inform. We're local people watching local people.